Hello, and welcome to the Dental Speaker Podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Emerson, founder of the Dental Speaker and Dental Speakers Bureau and Dental Speaker Institute. I almost forgot. And I thank you for listening today, and thanks for tuning in. The reason we're together with our mystery guest here, which many of you probably know her, she's probably not much of a mystery, but the reason we're here today is because systems for the business and strategies and the importance of both for your business success. It's so important to have a strategy and then systems in place. And when in the work that I've done for over 20 years with speakers and consultants, I have found this to be so true. And that if we can not only document our systems, but have an efficient way to manage them and to be able to utilize them on a day-to-day basis. And so that's what drove me to reach out to Glenda Acevedo, who's with us here today, is this importance of the strategy and the system and being able to efficiently, effectively implement both. And so, Glenda, thank you so much for being here and talking to us today about this topic.
Thank you, Vanessa. I love this topic. It's something that I'm extremely passionate about, as you've learned working with me over the past year. And I do believe that every business should have documented systems in place. They serve multiple purposes, but the main purpose is to be able to teach others the way that we want things done in our business. And in our community, we have a lot of entrepreneurs. And the only way we can effectively scale our business is through documenting our systems. And so
Awesome.
the entrepreneurs have all of this knowledge in their head, in their brain, but it's difficult to get it out and down on paper. So what I do as a documentologist is I work with people, just like all of the people in our community, and I help them get that information out of their brain and down on paper. So when they're prepared to scale their business, it's easy to turn that into onboarding systems to be able to train their employees to be able to effectively and efficiently do the job the way it was designed to be done, rather than employees making up their own rules as they learn in their own way.
Thank you for that. And I was going to say, tell us a little bit more about what it is you do, but thank you for reading my mind on that. And, yes. Like, especially if we want to leverage our businesses and we want to scale our business, we have to have our systems in place and documented. So there's that piece of it, right? There's the piece of documenting it, but there's also the day-to-day doing of the business. And that's where I was hoping to chat with you today about what I know to be true about you is there's no tech that you would not enjoy exploring and learning more about. And so I know you have some experience in this area with different like project management platforms. And I would love to hear from you. Why does it matter to speakers and consultants? How could something like a project management tool or platform, how could that help them with their day-to-day?
That's a great question, Vanessa, and something, again, that I'm passionate about. My first love is systems, but to me, you have to have project management aligned with systems in order for it to work in your day-to-day business, just as you described. And project management is meant to house the who does what by now. So what essentially that means is we can take the documented systems and turn them into step-by-step tasks in Asana. And Asana is just one tool that's out there. There's many of them, but it happens to be my favorite, so I'll address it from there. Others may have their favorite, which we can work in any. But the idea behind it is to be able to take the systems, which are step-by-step, and put them into Asana or a project management software and actually be able to assign those tasks to people within our business. So we assign it, they know that it's been assigned to them, it comes up in their calendar every day, and it's also, you can assign a due date to it. So every day when they go in, they don't have to dig through their emails to look for what they have to do today or keep written notes on their desk. All they have to do is open up Asana and everything on their calendar is there in order of when it needs to be done. Now, for a business owner or someone like yourself, you'd be able to go in and look at it from a higher level. If you had a complete project, maybe you're onboarding a new client and it takes 4 weeks to onboard the new client, and you'd like to take a look and see where that client is at in the process. So you can go in as a super user on the account and be able to track exactly where that customer is at in the process in either a timeline view or a project view. So there's multiple views you can do it. But again, the idea behind project management is to create a checklist, to be able to assign it to the employees in our business and to assign due dates to keep us all on track with everything that needs to be done on a daily basis.
For sure. You know, and I'm thinking too, many of our colleagues are solopreneurs who do not even have a team yet. So don't tune out if that's you. Recognize that
No.
this is a way for you to keep yourself organized versus the little stickies all over, or something that I've taught for many years is the strategic action plan, which really is a glorified to-do list, right? It's like you break it down by your profit centers and your revenue streams, and you provide dates to it. I mean, it sounds a whole lot like Asana to me, or a project management software. So that whole idea of a way to really automate our reminders and so many of our details that we need to keep track of, right? So like our speaking engagements, and like you said, who's doing what by when, that definitely applies to our speaking engagements and our
Absolutely.
consulting.
Absolutely.
And the consulting. What have we done with this client? What do we still need to do with this client? Comparing it to our agreements. I just thought of this. Does Asana have an app too then? So like if you're out and about, you can pull up on your phone?
It sure does. As a matter of fact, that's one of my favorite features, and something I talked about recently at your event, as a matter of fact, at Revolution, was how speakers can actually utilize the Asana app to keep track of all their speaking engagements, every single task that's involved in the speaker's engagement. And what's really nice is they can take the app on the go on their telephone. So if they're at an airport, they don't remember what hotel they checked into, they can open up the Asana app and go to that project and take a look and look at the hotel details right in the app. So Asana is on the go with you all the time. And you're right, Vanessa, you don't have to have employees to utilize Asana. It doesn't matter if it's assigned to the person in the business or assigned to an employee. It's still going to come up every day in your calendar as what task you need to get done today. So it's a way of putting you and everything you do on a schedule so that you can schedule it out in advance, similar to our calendar, but it gives you an opportunity to break it down into step by step or into details. So if I have a presentation to do for a speaking engagement, that's something that I can fit into my calendar, into Asana, with when I want to get that accomplished by. So again, it's step by step. It's a glorified checklist, as you said, but it's one that's automated. And again, keeps you out of email, keeps you from looking for things.
You know what, I'm already thinking, like with the app, I could so use that, because I'll be in the kitchen in the morning, making breakfast or something. And I think about something I need to not forget that I want to do. So you could just pull out your phone and make a note right there in your plan. I'm really excited to learn more about Asana. I've known that I've wanted to be on it now for probably close to 2 years. And the challenge for me as a busy entrepreneur is I'm planning multiple meetings a year. I'm working with dozens of marketing clients at a time. I've got my coaching group and my coaching one-on-ones, and they're like, "Are you tired yet hearing all this?" So it's just like, there's so much. It's like, when am I going to learn another tech package? Like, when am I going to learn? As much as I want to use it, when am I going to find that time? So I was thrilled when you shared with me that you're going to offer a workshop. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. I'm going to do an Asana basic training on May the 26th from 10 to 12 Eastern Standard Time. And I'm doing this workshop for a low price of $297 because I really want to teach people how to use it and how to become more efficient, more effective in their own business, because I'm an entrepreneur and I know what it's like to be in a day-to-day business and to get buried in the weeds of everything that we have to do. So I really just want to share with all of you how to do that in your own business. And Vanessa, this workshop is absolutely perfect for you to be able to take all of your events and to be able to put those in Asana and to have step-by-steps to track through everything that needs to be done. And so there's a lot of coaches and consultants out there doing events, doing retreats, doing different types of workshops and speaking engagements. And so there's so many uses that Asana could be used for. So I look forward to sharing it with all of you.
Oh, I'm excited. You know, it makes me think of one of our colleagues had shown me her Asana in the last year, and she does a lot of speaking, and she was showing me how she also keeps track of her sponsorship relationships, I would say, so that she uses Asana to keep track of each of them and where she has spoken and like responses that from those engagements, and like so that it makes it easy for her at the end of like a year to reach back to them and kind of give an update on here's how it went, you know, this year. And I thought there's so many really creative uses for it once we learn how to use it, that it's that bite we need to chew in order to be able to get to the more efficient, the promise of more efficiency on the other side of taking that time to learn. So it feels to me like a couple of hours that we can set aside, that you can walk us through and show us how we utilize this piece of tech to be able to make our lives easier. I know of multiple colleagues right now that I'm going to be sure and reach out one-on-one with to say, hey, I know we've talked about this before, and here it is. Here's our opportunity to be able to learn and be able to move forward with this. So thank you for offering the workshop. And I want to make sure that I send people to the right place. Is the best way to go to glendaacevedo.com?
That's fine. And click on the home tab, and the Asana tab drops down to the sign up page.
Awesome. And I'll be sure and put the link in there. And Glenda, if someone would like to ask you a question, what's the best email?
Glenda at glendaacevedo.com.
Just like it, you would expect.
Just like it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. I cannot wait to see you on May 26th. That was May 26th at 10 Eastern. And I hope to see you, my colleague, there as well. I feel like $297, you have given us such a gift at such a low rate to be able to implement something in our world that is going to make a huge difference for us as entrepreneurs. So thank you for loving into your community that way, Glenda.
Thank you, Vanessa, for the opportunity to work with you and everyone else in the community.
Oh, you're so welcome. Well, we'll wrap it up there for this episode of the Dental Speaker Podcast. If you have any topic you'd like for us to cover, please reach out to info@thedentalspeaker.com, and we'd be happy to pull some answers together, pull different resources in our industry, different guests we could bring on. So I'd love to hear from you, our listener, as to what your questions are. Speaking of questions, I came back from Weevolution couple weeks ago right now. And one of the things we had asked is I'm going to share this with you, Glenda. We had asked each of our participants to give us questions on 3x5 cards. So, hey, believe me, I got some questions. If you don't have questions, we got some questions we can go through. And we're going to go through these, and we're going to make sure that we get answers for our community. So thank you so much again for being here, Glenda. And you know, I bet Asana could probably somehow help me with this too. You'd find a way.
Yes.
Be well, everyone, and hope to see you on May 26th. We'll see you soon. Thank you, Glenda.